Hi everyone, this is Hiram Todd, and I'll be talking, giving the lesson this week on week 9, which is AJAX requesting JSON files. Well, we learned what JSON is and we will learn what JSON is and what AJAX is, and how to use these things together to pull data into our web page on the fly. Now, the point of this example is that the content is being loaded on the fly. What I mean is there's nothing here. It's going to be loaded from somewhere else. So there's no sentences, there's nothing right here. So I'm using JavaScript to say that when you press this button, the web browser goes out and finds that information through the internet to download a tiny bit of new data from a different URL. It's first common way of storing and working with data in JavaScript is with JSON, and it all boils down to two things: objects and arrays. Let's say I want to store data about a cat and want all of this data to live within the one variable or one object. I have an example over here in my app data. Now here's the object and here's an array. So we all know how objects and arrays work. We have the keyword and the elements: name, mouse a lot, species, cat, favorite food, tuna. Now here I just made an array of favorite colors: blue, green, purple. This is an array right here. Now what we could also do is these two, we can combine them down here. So we have the same thing as up here. It's object, and we have them as an array. So we have mouse a lot, and then we also have Barky and his information. So objects should have a property name, and then we assign the value to it. Objects can have different information property, like species properties, and now we also want to look onto. So this all is JSON, but what I'm using is a JavaScript file, as you can see here. The process of sending and receiving data on the fly without a page reload is known as AJAX. I'm sorry, but oh, I guess I have it here. Oh, I guess I didn't. Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Oh, asynchronous JavaScript and XML. And then we have JSON JavaScript object notation. Now, when it comes to AJAX, well, it's the XML part of it that makes it real. Now, web browsers have a built-in tool named XML HTTP. Now, I have that right here, as you can see. This request and this tool does the heavy lifting. It does all the work. This tool establishes a connection with the URL that we specify, which is right here. This is what we're specifying right now. Now this, I know it shows only one file and there's like 3. But you can see here that using the page counter, which I have defined up here, this makes sure that this connects animals 1, JSON file, 2, and 3 together. So it does the page count for that. Now, the tool establishes a connection with the URL that we specify, and then it let us use and send or receive data. We name it our request right up here. This is our request. And then we just set the variable to equal a new instance of the XML HTTP request tool. Now, the XML, it's a data format that's very similar to JSON. Honestly, we are not going to actually use XML. We are using JSON instead. It's more like AJAX, really, than AJAX. In recent years, JSON has replaced XML as the more popular data format. So JSON has become the industry standard for format, industry standard, yeah, data format. But XML is was very important for a very long time, and overall, XML was very important to the history of modern web development. And that's why the AJAX name sticks, even though most of us are using JSON instead of XML. And just in case you were curious, this also explains why the browser's built-in tool is named XML HTTP request. We are technically using this tool to go out and download JSON, not XML data. But again, XML was so integral to the history of web development that the name just kind of stays around. I'm also going to render HTML right here. Oh, where did I put it? Right here. Well, it's actually, oh gosh, I'm lost. Right here, I'm sorry. This function adds HTML to the empty div element, like right here. It gives it HTML information right there. Now this stuff is, it does the error if there's a connection there's no connection, it'll say connection error. And then right here, this is for the button. As you can see here, that's the button. And then this is for the button to hide the button after 3 clicks right there. As you can see, page counter is, if the page counter is greater than 3, then the hide button will go away. And this is what brings all the text together. All this right here is separated. Mousey, bark, its likes and dislikes, and it puts it all together. And I'll show you in a little bit. And here's the other one. See, as you can see, these are all objects put together as an array. The same here, and the same as in the first one. Now this right here, it shows puts together the foods, the likes, and the length. And then down here, it does the same thing. It just puts the sentences all together. See, as you can see how it's all separated. And then here's the dislikes part of it. Now, let's see. Now what I can do is I'll show you right now. As you can see, there's nothing here. There's no information. There's none of this right here is showing here. And it's not nowhere on here in the display other than the URL. And it's nowhere on the HTML either. So if I click this button, it shows the first three. It shows animals -1. And then I click again, it should show all this array of animals -2, and then it'll one more click, it'll show these other 3 animals. So we got the first one. Click again. Here's the other ones, the other pets with their likes and dislikes. Click again, and there's the third time. So as you can see, the button's gone. So all this information was just pulled from these files from somewhere else in the internet. And that's what this JavaScript does. It's an AJAX file, well, a JSON, no longer really a XML file, but it's a JSON file that acquires the information from those 3 files, those 3 URLs right in here. So it's stored information from somewhere else, and this absorbs the information from those URL files and displays it onto the HTML. So now, if there's any more information, please email me, and I can answer them. But yeah, as you can see, it takes some long coding for this to, as you can see here, here's the XML absorbing information from the JSON file. Those ones right here. That's the files right here. So it's going through this JavaScript and displaying it out here. Please let me know if you have any questions. All right. Thank you very much.